Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim has unveiled Ekonomi Madani, a framework aimed at raising Malaysia's standing by restructuring its economy to make it a leader in the Southeast Asian region and ultimately raise the standard of living for Malaysians. There are 7 targets that need to be achieved within 10 years under this framework, including cutting the fiscal deficit to 3% or lower and placing Malaysia among the top 30 biggest economies and the top 12 in the Global Competitiveness Index. Other key outcomes include the increase in the percentage of labour income to 45% of the total amount of income and women's participation rate in the workforce to 60%. Anwar also hopes to boost Malaysia's economic expansion to 6%. He announced some initiatives to help Putrajaya achieve its targets, including an additional 1 billion ringgit investments by the government and government-linked funds to support local startups and encourage technopreneurs, and an allocation of 5 billion ringgit to provide financing guarantees of up to 120% of property value for first-time buyers of homes worth up to 300,000 ringgit. The government will also allow the trading of smaller share lots and fractional shares in an effort to revive Malaysia's capital market. Ex-Bank Negara Governor Tan Sri Dr. Zeti Aziz testified today that the Attorney General's Chambers or AGC had decided against pressing charges against 1MDB despite damning evidence of wrongdoing. Speaking at the 1MDB Tenor trial, she said the AGC under Tan Sri Apandi Ali disregarded the recommendation of a multi-agency task force set up to investigate the fund to initiate criminal prosecution and charge 1MDB and its senior officers. This was for furnishing false information to BNM in 1MDB's application for permission to make payments outside Malaysia. Zeti said the central bank had written to the AGC to reconsider its no further action decision but received no reply. At the time, she said BNM had no knowledge of the fact the funds that were meant for investment by 1MDB had been remitted into accounts that were unrelated to 1MDB's investment declaration. She added that she was unaware of the transactions undertaken in Datuk Sri Najib Razak's MBank accounts and that MBank, which like other lenders are duty-bound to report suspicious transactions to the central bank, had failed to do so when it came to the then Prime Minister. She also said she was never informed by then MBank Group MD Chia Teck Kwang that Najib would be receiving donations in his account and stressed that neither she nor any of her family members had benefited from 1MDB monies. MBSB has received the go-ahead from its shareholders to buy MIDF from PNB for 1.01 billion ringgit in a deal that will be satisfied via the issuance of 1.05 billion MBSB shares at 96.52 cents per share. Following the proposed acquisition, which is expected to be completed in August this year, MIDF will become a wholly owned subsidiary of MBSB, and PNB will emerge as a substantial shareholder of MBSB with an equity stake of 12.78%. The EPF's shareholdings in MBSB will be trimmed from 65.87% to 57.45%. During an EGM held today, MBSB Group Chief Executive Officer Raif Hanif said the merger will expand MBSB's banking spectrum. He hailed it as the beginning of a new and enlarged banking group that would cater for longer customer segments that will cut across 3 main business verticals: consumer banking, commercial banking, and corporate banking. Nestlé Malaysia saw its net profit grow 6.6% to 180.91 million ringgit in the second quarter of FY 2023, mainly thanks to higher sales and its continuous focus on internal efficiencies amidst the pressure on commodity prices. Quarterly revenue rose 6.8% to 1.75 billion ringgit on the back of stronger domestic sales driven by robust consumer demand. The group declared an interim dividend of 70 cents per share. For the first half of FY 2023, Nestlé Malaysia's earnings rose by 0.8% to 378.06 million ringgit and revenue by 7.8% to 3.59 billion ringgit. Commenting on its prospects, Nestlé Malaysia CEO Wan Aranos acknowledged multiple factors of uncertainty remain, especially those derived from a weakened ringgit and the ongoing volatility in commodity and energy markets. He said the group remains confident in its ability to deliver another year of solid sales growth, improved cash flow performance, and resilient profitability and shareholder return. Port operator Westports Holdings booked a 20% increase in second quarter FY 2023 earnings, due mainly to the reduction in fuel cost. Net profit came in at 194.76 million ringgit. Top line rose by some 6% to 542.64 million ringgit, driven by an increase in container revenue. Westports declared a first interim dividend of 8.19 cents per share. For the 6 months ended June 30th, net profit increased 20.5% to 378.5 million ringgit on the back of revenue of 1.06 billion ringgit. On its prospects, Westports said Intra-Asia provides the baseline growth, which is tempered with caution as unfavourable inflation, interest rates and consumer confidence could adversely affect economic momentum in developed economies. It said its container throughput volume in the current year could likely be in the single-digit growth range compared to the previous year.